So my plan is to work on, among other things, a little bit of, we'll do some stuff with feet. Yay! And let's start in Virasana if that's okay for you. You could do no blocks. I'm going to do a block on this height. You could do 2 blocks if you want. So this is more or less the position. And then I'll say more once you're there. Yeah, and we'll be here for a bit, so make sure you're comfortable. And then once you have figured out your height, if you're using blocks or not, come up for a sec and take your hands at the kind of behind the knee and pull back and apart with the calf flesh so you get a little extra room. Yeah. And then pull the buttocks flesh back. Lots of flesh pulling. Yeah. And then the last one, you'll pull the knee flesh forward. But it makes a difference, doesn't it? Yeah. And then once we're here in this position, take your hands to the top of the pelvis and just press down with your hands and see if you can elongate a little bit through the trunk of the body. And sometimes when we do that, there's a tendency to lift up more through the front. See if you can really lift up through the sides. Yeah. Good. And then let's just sit for a second here. So let the arms go, but keep the lift through the torso. And as you close your eyes, if you choose to close your eyes, see if you can really relax the forehead and the eyelids and the little space between your eyebrows. And create a small little lift up through the base of your skull. And let the lower jaw and the tongue and the inside of your mouth relax. Yeah, just take a few easy breaths. Just letting go of the rest of the day. Give yourself the gift of the next hour or so just to be fully and completely present. Next time the exhale comes, let your head bow down and let your spine round. Yeah, and we'll take a few kind of a seated cat-cow. On the inhale, pull forward and lift. And then on the exhale, let yourself round and drop back. And do that a few times. Yeah. Great. And then our last one here. And we'll come back to neutral. And depending on how high up you are, you might get both at once or you might do one at a time. We'll make the hands into fists, like loose fists. And then from the heel down to the toes, you'll kind of scrape the feet. I'm going to do one at a time here because I'm up a little higher. Yeah. And see if you can get kind of towards the inner arch of the foot, down straight through the middle, and the outer part of the foot. Yeah, it's so much nicer if somebody else will do this on you, but here we are. I can pedicure with that. Okay, and then let's release that. And we'll come forward here. If you're on the block, you can take it out of the way. And just give yourself a second here to stretch out the legs. Let's take one leg back, little back and forth movement. Yeah, other side. Yeah, if you want to do down dog, you can do that too. And we'll do a little bit more here with the feet before we get moving. So let's turn around and we'll stretch the legs out forward. And take the feet out just in front of you. And we'll make some slow but big circles with the ankles. And there's a tendency to just kind of want to let them flop around, but see if you can really get all sides if you're drawing a circle. Yeah. And after a couple rounds, it'll start to fatigue a little bit in the feet and maybe in the calves. Yeah, let's go the other way with that one. And then we'll pause here. And let's reach forward through the heels, spread wide through the toes, and then press forward through just the ball of the foot, and then the toes. Yep, and then we'll pull the toes back separately, spread them out, and pull back through the rest of the foot. Great, so we're just kind of articulating here through the joints of the feet, especially at the toe hinge, which, you know, we wear shoes and they get all squashed and crunched up, so just kind of manually opening them a little bit. Yeah. And then pause here. Let's press forward just the ball of the feet, and for the rest of the class, I'm going to call this the Barbie doll foot because that's how her poor, you know, Barbie, she wore high heels for too long, and her feet got stuck like this. But we'll be utilizing this foot position sometimes. All right, and then just relax your feet and see if you can wiggle the toes, which when we were children we were really good at, but as adults they don't wiggle as well, do they? Yeah, all right. So we'll keep working on those toes. Let's turn over again and we'll come to all fours position. Yeah. And at first here, just start to move around a little bit. Your spine, your pelvis, your head. Whatever feels good, whatever feels like it wants to or needs to move. Yeah. And then from here, I'll take a few little calf stretches. So let's pause. Take the hands a little further forward and the right leg back with the toes tucked under. And then you'll press forward. And as you press back, let the left knee lift and press back through the heel. You can kind of round through the spine and do that a few times. So we'll shift forward and go back. And as you're doing this, see if you can move through the ball of the foot. Yeah. And hopefully getting a little bit of a calf stretch along the way. Let's take it one more time and then we'll change sides. Yeah. Great. Other side. And then back and forth we go. Great. All right, and then we'll pause here. And this next one is a little, it's work for the abdomen, but also a little stretch for the tops of the feet. I'm gonna use blocks because I need the space. You can do it with the blocks or hands to the floor, but let me show you what it looks like. So we'll breathe in, and then as we exhale, we'll lift the knees and go onto the tops of the feet like that, yeah? So let's do that a few times, it's work. Breathe in, and on the exhale, up we come, yes. Do that a few times. Now, if your feet cramp when you do this, don't do it. Or you could do it with the toes tucked under instead. Or you could put a blanket under the tops of the feet if necessary. Yeah, good. And then let's do last round. And once you come down here, we'll tuck the toes under. Some of you will stay just like this. Some of you will come all the way up. And some of you might want to put blocks either under the knees or under the hands for a little toe hinge stretch. Yeah. Sarah, we haven't done this one in a while, have we? Yeah, so let's do this. If you're up there, or even if you're not, walk the knees back so the toes tuck under more. And see if you can press straight back through the center of the heel. And if tolerable here, shift your weight back a little bit in the torso. Oh yeah, hello toes. I've been doing this a lot lately and it gets better the more you do it. The first couple of rounds, not so much. Let's come out, untuck, give them a little tap, little shake, yeah. And then I think after that, down dog might be just the thing. So take your time here, ease into your dog, and take anything you like movement-wise. If you need to pedal around, stretch the legs out, whatever feels good. Yeah. And then some of you might be content just to stay in down dog for a little longer. Any sort of little wiggles are fine. Some of you might want more movement. If that's you, you could inhale to plank and or let the pelvis dip and then exhale back to down dog. So you choose. And whatever you're doing, see if you can notice what's going on with the feet. How are the feet responding to the movement elsewhere in the body? Yeah. Nice. Or you could stay in plank for a really long time. Let's go back to down dog and widen your stance. So the feet are a little wider. Bend the knees and walk the hands back until the heels land. And let's press down into the heels. Use the inhale to rise all the way up and come, arms lift overhead. And then on the exhale, set the arms down. Great. Let's take a few little hula hoop asanas here. Slight bend in the knees and feel how the weight shifts on the sole of the feet. Yeah, let's go the other direction. And then we'll do some toga, which is yoga for the toes. Some more toga. So pause here and stand at the feet about hips width distance apart. Slight bend in the knees. Lift up the toes and spread them out really wide. And see if you can put down just the pinky toe, but the rest of the toes stay up. Yeah. Okay. And then make a little space, put the fourth toe down. Uh-oh, and it gets harder, the third toe. And the second toe. And then the big toe, and hopefully there's a little space in between each toe. Now let's keep the big toe down and lift the other toes, the four little ones. And now keep the big toe down, spread out the toes. Can you put the pinky toe down, keeping the big toe down, and the three middle ones stay up? What? No, yeah, you got one. You got yeah, those little rolling balls. Yeah, that would probably help, but I didn't think of that. All right, and then relax. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll do it another time. Yeah. So I want to talk about what I call the foot tripod. Sometimes teachers talk about the four corners of the feet. I like a tripod better. I think triangles are more stable than rectangles. So let's lift the toes up again. This time, see if you can press down, not the toe itself, but the ball of the pinky toe, and the toe itself might come down. Yep. Keep that. Also press down the ball of the big toe, so the pinky toe, big toe, and then the heel. So we got a little triangle there on each side. Yeah. Keep that. Relax the arms down. Keep the toes lifted for a second. Take the arms now up. And notice if there's a tendency to press the pelvis forward. Try not to do that. Yeah. Great. All right. Keep pressing down through the tripod, but relax the toes down. That's it. Inhale. On the exhale, let's bend the knees, shift the hips back, coming into Utkatasana. And if this is too much on the arms, take the arms in prayer or back instead. Keep pressing down through the foot tripod. See if you can send the hips a little further back and a little lower down. Let's take one breath in and forward fold on the exhale. Inhale is a half lift, chest moves forward. Lower yourself down. Let's walk the hands forward until we get into plank pose. Now, option to put the knees down, and if you do put the knees down, see if you can keep the toes tucked under. If the legs are straight, or either way, we're shifting forward and back. Yeah? See if you can feel what's going on in the toe hinge, in the soles of the feet. And when it feels like the soles of the feet are straight up and down, pause in that position. Yes, good. All right, and then from here, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. You're gonna stay here. And once you're down on the belly, stretch your legs back and down one at a time. Just back and down. You can rest your forehead like this on your hands. Yeah. And then on both legs at the same time, let them lift up off the floor, but not high. And see if you can lift more through the inner thigh. And then press back into your Barbie doll feet. So the balls of the feet press back. Yeah. Great. And then lower yourself down. And we'll do that again. Just both legs, yeah. So reach the both legs back and up and press back through the balls of the feet. Good. And then down. Let's do one more and then we'll add on. So lift up again. Draw back. Slide the hands a little further forward and the elbows in. Kind of like a lazy sphinx pose. And then try to drag the floor back with your arms. Come forward and up with the chest just a little bit. Continue to press back through the balls of the feet. Yeah. Great. And then lower yourself down, rest the forehead, bend the knees so the feet are in the air, and just give them a little bit of a swish from side to side a couple of times. Yeah. All right. Yeah, good. And then we'll put the legs back down. Head into downward facing dog. Just take a little bit, whatever you need to get there. And then once you're in downward facing dog, bend the knees just for a sec. Try to press the mat down and forward with the hands so the torso grows a little longer. And then in slow motion, as you start to lengthen the legs, try not to shift forward. Lift up high onto the balls of the feet and still try not to shift forward. And then as you lower the heels down, try to keep the hips up as high as they are, which won't really happen, but try. And do that a few times in slow motion. So we lift the heels up, try to keep the hips way up high as the heels ooze back down, and hopefully you get a nice juicy stretch in the calves. I am for sure. Let's do it one more time. And then once we're in the heels down position, most of us won't touch the floor, you might. Think of the backs of the knees to the backs of the heels, reaching downward. Good. All right. And then your choice here, you can either bring the feet to the hands or the hands to the feet. We'll meet in standing forward fold. Before we come up, find your foot tripod, little bend in the knees. Press down into those 3 spots. As we inhale, we rise all the way up. And then the arms come back down. Great. So far, so good. So we'll do a few things on our blocks, and we'll set up the block so there's a small gap. And be sure that you're not right under one of these hangy things, because you'll be up a little taller. And we want, let me explain. So we're going to stand with both feet on the block, and we want the arch of the foot over the gap. And we want as big of a gap as we can manage while still having the full ball of the foot on the front block and the full heel on the back block. So that'll be different depending on how big your feet are. Yeah. Are we good? It's so tall up here, isn't it? Yeah. And now in your position, see if you can find those 3 spots. So the ball of the pinky toe, ball of the big toe, heel. And just press down, down, down through those 3 spots. Take the arms out and up. And then once you're up, use the right hand to grasp the left forearm. Up we come. Take a side bend over to the right and press the left foot a little bit more firmly. Yeah. And then up we come. Other side, pull up and over. And that's it. And then up and arms down. And then we'll briefly step off the blocks, but we're going to come up with just one foot. So come down for a sec. Readjust so the left foot is kind of in the middle there. And then the right leg will be beside. Yeah. Now, if you need to get next to a ledge or a wall or furniture for balance, you can. If just being here is enough, stay. If you're good to start swinging the leg, you can swing that leg and let the arms just kind of rotate in opposition. Yeah. And what I'm hoping is happening, this is less, what the right leg is doing doesn't really matter. It's more about what's on the standing leg. Are you feeling a little bit of work in the sole of the foot? Yep. Maybe the outer hip. Yeah. Good. Nice. So let's stay up there, but change the movement pattern. Whoa. And then let the right whole leg just kind of go down a little bit. And then press the left foot into the block and let the outer left hip hug in towards the center. Yeah, I'll say that a few times. The right one just kind of dips down. The left one kind of goes to the side. And then we press the left foot down and the outer hip in. Yeah, do that one more time. Wow, and then we're going to up the ante. This is so fun to watch, you guys. All right, take the arms up. Take the right leg out to the side, and if you can, hinge the torso a little to the left. Whoa. Okay, all the way down we come. And just stand in your mountain pose. And after that, notice just the presence of your feet. Yeah, this is different, isn't it? Right versus left. Do you feel the tripod better on the left? Yeah, that would be the left one. Amazing. That means we have to do the second side. So let's try it. Right leg is up. Left leg is there. Yeah. And if you need to shorten the distance between the blocks, absolutely you can. And once you're in position here, just let the left leg start to swing. The arms can swing. And remember, this is more about the standing foot than the swinging leg. So if the swing is throwing you off, just stand there and it's fine. I love balance classes because it's so fun to watch you guys. Ooh, we should do that one that we did last week. We'll do that later, yeah. All right. Let the movement start to settle down. Sarah, stay on the blocks. That's it. This side just doesn't more cooperate. And then let the left leg kind of sink down a bit. Press into the right foot and let the outer right hip hug into the center. Oh, yeah. And then do that a few times. Yeah. Great. Let's stay in the pressing position. Take the arms out and up. Take the left leg a little wider and the torso a little to the right. Whee! Is anyone holding their breath? That won't help. Sure. Down we come, down we come. Ah. And again, just stand in your mountain pose. Ah. Nice. If nothing else, we're off with the blocks. Yeah, and we're even between the two sides. Well done. All right, so let's move that out of the way. We'll do something else with them later. Yeah. If you like to have blocks for your hands and lunges, you can have them towards the front. And let's be at the front of the mat. I'm going to face you first, and then I'll turn around. So we'll have the feet about hips width distance apart. Bend the knees slightly. Shift the hips back slightly. And then shift forward so the heels lift up off the floor. This is the one, yeah. Hug in through your ankles. And then slowly straighten the legs, lift the arms overhead, keep the heels lifted. And then the heels come down, the arms come down. Yeah, let's do that twice more. Bend the knees. Shift forward. Heels lift, ankles hug in. Slowly lengthen. And like, oh no, another one bites the dust. Down come the heels, down come the arms. Did I say, let's do one more. Bend, shift forward, lift the heels, ankles in. Up we come. Down with the heels, down with the arms. All right, we'll do the reverse order later. Let's stay here at the front. Inhale up, just the arms. Exhale down, forward fold. Come up halfway here, find some length. Lower yourself down. Let's step the right leg back. Keep the knee off the floor, the toes tucked under. And just give yourself kind of that forward back that we did in plank pose earlier. Yeah, and just in your body, when it feels like the sole of the foot is straight up and down, even if it's just imagine, find that. Keep that. And on the back leg, lift a little more through the inner thigh. Draw back through the pelvis, forward through the chest. Lighten up the hands, and you can stay hands down or take arms back, or if you can take the arms forward without drooping in the back, that's an option too. Yeah. A few more moments wherever you are. Breathe. And then release the arms lightly. Set the back knee down. If you need a blanket, grab it. On the inhale, we'll shift forward, lift the chest. And on the exhale, we'll shift back, going straighter in the front leg. So do that a few times, just at your own pace. Yeah. Great. And then the next time we shift back, let's stay back. And I always like to take the arms a little further back. You're welcome to also do that. And for most of us, the pelvis wants to swing a little to the right here. See if you can shift it to the left and let the left hip drop a bit. Yeah. All right, it gets worse. Spread out through your toes. And can you draw back through the pinky toe and press forward through the ball of the big toe? Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. So pretend there's a string between the pinky toe and the knee, and it's trying to pull back. And then at the not the toe itself, but the ball of the big toe, pretend like you're kind of stepping on the gas. Yeah. But pull the toes themselves back. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Kind of a Barbie foot a little bit. All right. And then from here, slowly bring the sole of the foot towards the floor. It might not touch the floor. And then pull back through the toes and come up again. Do that a few times. So go down and up. Yes, and then it's going to get a little more interesting. Let's stay down. Bend at the ankle so the toes bow in a little to the right. Walk the arms a little forward if you can, and then some of you will also walk the arms a little to the left, possibly going outside of the left leg. I'm going to stay here. Yeah. All right. Now, in this position, think of where your pelvis is and the rib cage, and can you move the pelvis and the rib cage away from each other? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So can you go a little straighter in the front leg? No. Okay. Yeah. It might help. You can grab one of those logs or both of them, and that'll give you a little space. Are you guys breathing? Trying to? Yeah, don't try. Really do it. Okay. And then back off. Back off. Come back to center. Holy moly. Rebend the front knee, and then watch first, and you decide if this is a yay or a nay. Look at my back foot so the toenails are on the floor. I'll come up like this and then back down. If that's not going to work, do it with the toes tucked under. Yeah? So we'll do 3. Let's breathe in. On the exhale, up. And on the inhale, down. Oh, 2 more. Yeah. All right. And then when we're done, we're done. Let's retuck the toes, lift the knee. Let's go plank pose to the belly. Yeah, all the way down we come onto the belly. And then we'll stay down there, scooch the legs back just to give you some room, and bring the arms into the Sphinx position. Let the chest drop for a second, and on the inhale, try to drag the floor back, broaden the collarbones, lengthen to lift, coming a little bit up. On the exhale, we lower back down. Yeah, do that a couple more times. Great. Nice. And then this will be your last round. As you come down, reset your hands, and we'll press back into our downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yeah. And see if in this position, you might not be able to, but try to lift the toes off the floor and reach back through the heels, and then let the toes relax down. Yeah. All right. And then we'll meet in a standing forward fold. Let's come to the front of the mat. Just one time halfway lift. And on the way down, we'll come back and put the left leg back, finding your lunge pose. Blocks if you need them. Keep the back knee off the floor for the moment. And let's shift forward and back, again, just moving through the ball of the foot on the back leg. Yeah, for this version of the pose, when it feels like the sole of the foot is straight up and down, pause there. Lift a little through the inner thigh on the back leg. Move the pelvis back, the chest forward. Lighten up the hands. And then you choose, stay down, arms back, arms forward. Good, keep the torso where it is on this diagonal line. Yeah, great. And then arms come down, back knee comes down, blanket if you need. And on the inhale, we shift a little forward, lifting the chest. And on the exhale, we'll shift back, going straighter in the front leg. Take that a few times, just at your own pace. And then we'll do that long hold in a little bit. Great. Let's pause next time we shift back. And if you need to walk the arms back a little or a lot, you can. All right, can we shift the pelvis a little to the right and drop the right hip slightly? Yeah. All right, and then from here, the heel is on the floor. The toes are off the floor. Spread out through the toes. And can you pull back through the pinky toe like there is a string on it? And then press forward just a little, the ball of the big toe. Yeah, that's maybe a little too much, just a little bit. And not the actual toe, but the toe knuckle. No, that's the actual toe. Pull the toe back. That's it. And then right here. Right at this. Yeah, that's it. Do you feel that all the way through the leg? How exciting. How exciting. And then let's back off. Do kind of a point flex, and as you pull the foot back, stretch out wide through the toes. Do that a few times. Yeah. Your feet will be so sad to get back in shoes again after this class. All right, next time the toes come down to the floor, let's pause. And they might not touch. Bring the toes in towards the midline and start to walk the arms a little forward and possibly a little to the right, possibly outside of the right leg. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, and for this one, you can point the toes a little, yeah, but then angle the toes in this direction. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Now, however you're situated, can you move the pelvis and the rib cage away from each other? Oh. And can we breathe while that's happening? That's more important than the pelvis and the rib cage. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's back off. Reset. Rebend the front knee. And then we're going to do our 3 lifts. If you need to tuck the toes under, do. We'll breathe in. And on the exhale, up. And on the inhale, down. 2 more times. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. When you're done with those, let's reset. This time, plank to downward dog. All right. And let's add in a little pedal within the down dog. You can shift the hips back and forth a couple of times. All right, and then let's separate your feet a little wider. Bend the knees and walk back, hands towards the legs, heels root down. Find the foot tripod on both sides. Use the inhale to come up. And down come the arms. Yeah, all right. So let's go get your blanket, and you'll just fold it so it's in this size. And then you'll have the folded edge facing you. And we'll stand with the heels down and the toes and the balls of the feet on the blanket. Yeah. And then remember when we did the up and down, we're going to do it on the blanket. It makes it a little more fun. So let's lift the heels. Just keep straight legs for now. And then come back down. Do that a few times and see if you can bring the ankles in as you rise up. There's a tendency to want to roll towards the pinky side of the foot. Yeah. All right. Now I'll make it a little more exciting. Next time you're in the up position, stay. Take the arms up 2. Bend the knees a little. Bring the hips back a little, like chair pose. Yeah. Great. And then lower the heels, lower the arms, and stand. That went actually better than the other version. Let's go a couple more. Yeah? So let's come up, lift, bend, shift back. I spoke too soon. And then the heels come down, arms come down, re-lengthen. One more time. Up. Ankles in. Bend the knees. Hips shift back. Heels come down, arms come down, re-lengthen. Yep. And then we'll take a calf stretch after that one. So let's redo our folded blanket into a rolled blanket. I'm going to face the side. You guys don't have to move. And let's put the blocks in front. We'll start with the blocks on high, and you might lower them in a little bit. So let's come first into this forward fold on blocks. And then you'll step the feet up on the roll so the heels are on the floor, the toes and the balls of the feet are elevated. Yeah, have enough space between, like hips width distance or a little wider. Bend the knees slightly. And before we go anywhere, at the tops of the thighs, can you press apart, which will roll the weight towards the pinkies. Can you hug in through the ankles a little so the weight's now more on the ball of the big toe? And can you find that foot tripod here? So you got the ball of the pinky toe, ball of the big toe, and the heel. Keep that. Start to lift the hips as the legs go straighter. And then if lowering the blocks is a good idea, you can. If keeping them where they are is a better idea, stay. And if you need to go even higher, you can do a little tower. Yeah. Now, in your position here, for me, the legs never go all the way straight, and that might be the case for you as well. Let the pelvis take a small little shift from side to side. Just really small, really gentle, right and left. Oh yeah, noticing the inner calf, the outer calf. Yeah, great. And then let's pause when you're right in the middle. Tiny, barely bending the knees, and let's go onto your fingertips on the blocks and move the chest forward, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. See if you can keep that and then re-lengthen the legs. Ah, are you breathing though? No, you better do it. Nice work, you guys. All right, let's come back down with the hands. Slide the feet down off the roll. Root down to rise up. All the way up come the arms. And then set the arms down. Yeah, but how do the feet feel now? Feel good. Anchored. Fantastic. So let's use this roll for a Warrior One variation. And I know I've done this with you guys. Put the roll towards the back of the mat. And then let's come stand back here and put the right heel on the roll. And a little bit rotate the right leg out so the toes point out to like 1 or 2 o'clock. Hands on the hips, and we'll step the left leg forward, which is kind of awkward, but it is what it is. Yeah. And then in your position here, let's go straighter in both legs. On the back leg, first press down through the heel, and then try to press the heel back, especially the inner heel. Yeah, send the inner thigh back as well. Lift up through the abdomen, and then bend the front knee. Oh yeah, nice juicy stretch on the right thigh. Let's take the arms forward and up. Hook your thumbs at the top, kind of butterfly style, and use that to help make you a little bit longer. Stay long through the trunk of the body, but relax the shoulders, and we'll separate the hands, palms face each other. Yeah, keep the back heel anchored, and on the front leg, find the foot tripod. Yeah, great. Now to get out of this, some of you will just step forward, some of you will take a little balance. Let's hinge forward, stretch the arms back, and either just step to the front of the mat or take the right leg in a little bit and then lift it. What? Yeah, and then that's it. We just come up to stand. Nice. Other side. Left leg comes back. A little bit of rotation. Hands on the hips. Right leg steps forward. And then we'll go both legs straight at first. On the back leg, press down through the heel. Press back. That's it. And then let's bend the front knee. Keeping the back leg doing its thing. On the front leg, find the foot tripod. See if you can lengthen the torso. Stretch up through the arms. Pull up on the thumbs. Stay long and lifted, but relax a little through the shoulders. Yeah. And then without losing the length, separate the hands, palms face each other. Great. Back heel continues to press down. Reach the inner heel back. Front leg, we've got the foot tripod. Now let's hinge forward, arms back. Step the back leg in a little bit, and you choose if you're adding in the balance, lifting the left leg, or if you're not. Good. And then we step forward, 2 feet on the floor. Nice job. Let's hula hoop it out. Yeah, go the other direction. Okay. And then from here, yogis, we'll do another balance, but we'll have 2 feet on the floor, which sounds like it'll make it easier, but not necessarily. So first, just stand on your mat, kind of tightrope walker style, right foot in front of the left, and we'll have a small gap, like a foot's distance. I can't even do that. Yeah. All right. Now, once you're in position there, let the arms take a little zippity-doo-dah. Yeah, but try not to be too robotic about it, just like you're taking a walk. Great. And then we'll pause, take the arms out to the side, and slowly turn your face to the right, and then to the left, and then to the center, and arms down. Change legs. So the left one is in front, the right one is in back. You're on a tightrope. If the tightrope is too treacherous, you can have a little space. Yeah. And then let's take our jolly stroll here with the arms. This side for me is quite a bit easier. Yeah, and then we'll pause. Take the arms out to the side. Turn your face to look left. Turn your face to look right. And then back to center. Okay, great, arms down. Now if that felt like enough for you, you'll do that much again with the feet on the floor. If you want to up the ante, 2 options. One is to stand on your blanket, one leg forward, other leg back. We'll do the same little pattern. Other idea could be blocks. One leg forward, other leg back. Yeah? So the blocks are more stable, but you're higher. The blanket is more unstable, but it could be exciting. So you choose. And of course, be on the floor if that's a better choice. So, good question. Let's have right in the front, left in the back. I shouldn't do this when I'm like 9 months pregnant, but here we are. All right, and then our arm swings. Yeah. Great. And then we'll pause, take the arms out to the side. This one I think is the harder one. Slowly turn your face to look right. And then the left, we're going to add in another thing. And back to center, and then just arms overhead. Yeah, press down through the feet, lengthen up through the trunk of the body, up through the fingertips. And then arms down. Well done, class. All right. Oh, I was the only one that did the roll. Let's do the other side. So the left one is in front, the right one is in back. Just getting up there might be the hardest part. Yeah. And then once you're in position, once you're solid, add in the arms. Try to have your weight evenly distributed between the front foot and the back. Yeah, I know.
That's the trick.
That's the hard part.
Getting that balance between both legs.
Yeah, we tend to favor one side, don't we? And then let's pause, widen the arms. Slowly turn your face to the left. And then to the right. Back to center. Arms up. Root down through the feet. Lengthen long through the trunk, but relax your shoulders. Yay. Okay, that's enough. Out we come. Release. Yeah. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's move the stuff out of the way. We might use it again later, so just have it available. And then let's move again. So come to the front of the mat. Yeah. Let's just do one round of this. Bend the knees, bring the hips back. Let's take hands to prayer. Shift a little forward so the heels lift off the floor. That's it. And then rise all the way up. Keep the heels lifted. Re-bend the knees. Hands come back to prayer. And now don't let the heels touch the floor, but let them come very close. Yeah. Keep the heels a little lifted as we take forward fold. If you need blocks, grab them. I should have warned you. And then keep the heels a little lifted. Can you lift the hips up to go straighter in the legs? There's a tendency when we put the heels down for everything to want to drift back. Try not to. Keep your weight on the balls of the feet. Yeah, good. On the next inhale, let's take a halfway lift. Move the chest forward. On the exhale, let's lower down. Walk yourself back, plank to downward dog. Yeah. And then within the down dog, we'll stay for a moment. You can be still, you can move, you can shift. Just make sure you're breathing. Yeah. Great. And then from here, let's lower the knees down. And if you can, keep the toes tucked under for child's pose. Let's scooch the knees back and try our toe torture again and see if it's any less torturous than the last time. Yeah, for me it is. Actually, it already felt pretty good the first time.
Yeah, it felt pretty good the first time.
Yeah, Sarah, is you okay?
Yeah.
No. Oh, nuts. All right, let's come out, untuck, give it a little shakety shake, shake, shake. Yeah. All right, and then from here, let's turn over. We'll come to a seated cross-legged position. Have your blocks available, and if you need to be elevated, if you need to sit on a blanket or something, you can. I'm going to just sit on the roll here. And I'll be really specific. Cross the legs so the right center of the shin is in front of the left center of the shin. Move your feet a little further forward. Yeah. And then you too, move the feet a little further forward. That's it. Lean to one side, pull the buttocks flesh back. That's it. And now as you're in this position, a few things. First, let's slide the thumbs into the hip creases. Press down to lift up. And now on your feet, keep your hands here, but press the heels out and press the pinky side of the foot down and then start to hinge forward. Yeah? So the heels press out, pinky side of the foot down. Let go of the legs and take your hands on your blocks and walk forward just enough to create some elongation, but don't go like so it's a huge amount of reach. Blocks are any height. Press the hands down on the blocks and try to pull them back so it's a pretty active position. Yeah. One more time in the feet. Press out through the heels and down through the pinky side of the feet. Yeah. And then your choice. You can stay here or you can come into more of a forward fold. If you want to relax the feet, you can. If you're finding this interesting, keep doing it. And then anybody, depending on your body, you might arrange the blocks so you could rest the forehead on them, which can be nice so the head isn't dangling. For me, I don't have enough room. Yeah. And in any situation you're in, if it would feel good to add in like a little bit of a rock or a little sway, you can add that. Great. And from here, friends, let's start to ease your way back up and we'll do the other leg in front. So take a second to, if you want to stretch them out first and jiggle them. I'm a big fan of the jiggle asana. Yeah. And then we'll set up second side, so that'll be the left shin in front of the right shin. Do the other. Yeah, there it is. We favor one side. And then scooch the feet a little forward so they're approximately under the knees. It won't be exact. Yeah. And I know that's not everyone's favorite way to do the pose, but it gives more of a stretch in the outer hips. So let's take the thumbs here, press down to lift up, broaden the collarbones, press the heels out and press the pinky side of the foot down, and then start to hinge forward from there. And let's start with the hands on blocks, just coming forward but not max capacity. You'll press the hands down and try to pull them back as the chest moves forward. That's it. And then your choice, if you want to stick with this, do. If you want to let yourself just fold over, possibly any sort of block set up under the forehead. If you're finding the foot press interesting, keep that. If you want to just let it go, let it go. And be where you are. Maybe with a little side to side. And when you're ready to come out, let's start to ease your way back up. And we'll take the legs out in front. A little shake, 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 shake. And then let's come onto your back. I'm going to turn out the overhead light so it's not so bright. Keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. I'll be back in a flash. And then I'll just explain this. You won't be able to see me, but I'll talk you through it. Take the right foot and scoop the right foot in between the left buttock and the left foot. And then let the right knee drop down and kind of out to the side. Yeah. And then you'll pick up the left leg with your hands and just bring it in towards you. Now, all class, we've been telling you to do this and that with the feet. For this position, let the feet relax. Just let them be floppy. Yeah. And even though we're holding on to the left leg, I'm guessing most of you will feel more sensation in the right leg, like in the front. Yeah. See if you can relax into that. If the hip or the thigh feels really unstable, you could slide a prop under it. Yeah. Now think about the back, lower ribs. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, imagine the back lower ribs moving a little downward and a little wider. And that's not by pushing them down, it's just think of an expansion. Yeah? And let's do that a few times more on the exhale. The lower back ribs drop down and become a little wider. Great. And to come out of this, let's put the left leg down first. Undo the right leg, and before we swap sides, just pause in symmetrical shake for a moment. Slide your hands to the thighs, right, so the heel of the hand is right at the hip crease in the front, and just press straight ahead, hands straight into the legs. Yeah, you can do that a few times, just to create a little space. All right, and then we'll do our second side here, so that'll be the left foot that scoops underneath, in between the right foot and the right buttock. And then the right leg comes in, you can hold on with your arms, and of course feel free to prop accordingly if necessary. And can you relax both feet in this position? The ankles, the toes, the soles of the feet. Yeah. And bring your awareness to the lower back ribs. Let the inhale just come. And then on the exhale, very, very gently, let the back ribs move down and imagine them becoming wider. Do that a few times. So every exhale, the back ribs move down and wide. And from here, friends, let's undo both legs, coming back into the feet on the floor position. And we'll take again that thigh press just to even out a little through the two sides. So a few times just to create a little pressure of the hands into the legs. And we can back that off. Good. All right, and then our last little thing before Shavasana. Let's put the legs all the way long on the floor, and just in a relaxed way. And see if you can get the backs of the heels to kind of catch the mat. We'll do a quick pointed flex of the feet. But what we want that to do is create a little jiggle so the whole body gets a little, almost like a little bounce up and down. Is it okay if I touch your ankles? I'm going to do it for you. And it's way more fun if somebody else does it, because then it's no work. Can I touch your ankles? Just relax. Oh, see, isn't that way more fun? I'll get all of you. We've got a small class today. Yeah. And then after I've gotten to you, if you're tired, just let it go. This is our last little bit. Isn't it way more fun? Sometimes I'll just ask my husband to do this, and he's like, "You're such a weirdo." Okay, sorry, Mary, I won't get to you, but imagine I'm jiggling you. Let's just settle into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Let go of any holding, especially in the feet, yeah? See if you can relax the soles of the feet, the toes, the ankles. Move your awareness into just the whole back of the body. And imagine the whole back of the body taking up a little more space, making a little wider across. Relax your eyes. The musculature that surrounds the eyes. Your attention back to your body. Just take a little bit of a deeper breath. Maybe give the fingers, the toes a little wiggle. Stretch up through the arms. Just take what you need. And eventually here, we'll let the knees bend. Roll yourself over onto one side. Take your time to come up to sit in any way that you like. Find hands at heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste. That's great.